Are you carrying grief that you never got the chance to feel? Sometimes when grief or death or loss hits us, we are flooded with a lot of responsibilities, taking care of kids, having to go to work, just taking care of life, and we're not able to actually deal with what's at hand. In fact, we just have to keep going. What the problem is that the body keeps the score. And this may show up when you have to numb out. It may show up in a lot of different ways. So if you find yourself being irritated, agitated, angry, frustrated, just short-tempered, if you find yourself maybe having some OCD showing up, like things just have to be perfect, maybe you're finding yourself numbing out, watching TV or scrolling on social media, finding ways to just disconnect because it's all too much. I'm going to tell you that I see you. And I also want to say that I want you to see you, because when you finally have some breath to be able to feel the feels, understand, even if it's years later, like it's a real thing that it's carried in your body. And there's a lot that our culture does, unfortunately, sometimes to also encourage us to not feel. I know I have suffered through that myself, and I'm here to try to encourage you to step into the space, to find the help and support. And there is help and support out there. There's actually a really amazing program at a lot of churches that is called Grief Share. I've heard a lot of really beautiful things about that. Or you can go to a therapist or a coach like myself to help you just hold space for that, to be there with you and for you as you lose your shit, and just let it out so you can remember the person or the being or the thing that you lost. And grief can come for a lot of different reasons and a lot of things and a lot of people. And it could be animals, it could be a moving, it could be a loss of a job. There's grief that's there. And I just want to remind you, just because you might not feel it in the moment doesn't mean that it's not residing somewhere in your body and in your space. This work, again, is about returning to self and understanding that frozen grief is exactly what it sounds like, but it's still there and it's frozen, meaning at some point it's going to start to thaw out. Yes, even years later. And the trippy thing is that it can come up in the form of panic attacks and anxiety. So if all of a sudden you're finding yourself like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe, I'm having all these symptoms, let's look back and say, like, what was going on before this stuff started to build up? Because those things that we bury, that we're like, I'm fine, everything's okay, can actually show up in a form of a panic attack. Physical sensations that are going on. And this is this thing, our body and mind does this thing to protect us from, it's too much pain, I can't deal with it. This is why it's important to have support to go through it. You don't have to do this alone. There's no shame in that. It doesn't make you weak if you need support. It makes you human. That's the biggest thing about us being human. We need support. If you found this video to be helpful, please heart the video, subscribe. I'm going to be doing some more videos on this topic of grief, and I will be also doing a meditation to help you get connected with what you're feeling. Start feeling your feels, my friend. I'm sending you so much love.